Brisbane, and this is the second email in the series, and I'm going to take you now into why we are feeling frustrated with our lives and what can we do from there. Unfortunately, many people are like you, facing financial challenges, and I was in your same position just a few years ago. Because when we work long hours and we try to do our best all by ourselves, we tend to pay massive debt off very slowly. We work 4 to 6 months a year just paying taxes, and we are living paycheck to paycheck. This was the reality in my life, and I'm pretty sure it's the reality in your life right now. Now, these are stats in Australia, but if you look at your own country where you're working and living in right now, you'll probably find it pretty similar. In Australia, we live in a country where the cost of living is very high. If you look to the left-hand column here, in Australia, everything is very expensive. Sorry, and so if you go down the scale, and in India it's much cheaper, but in India people also have incomes that are much lower. So cost of living is certainly a big factor to be looked at. Then the next thing we've got to look at is if the cost of living is high, what is the consumer price index? How is the consumer price index of the CPI rising? Back in 1985 in Australia, on a zero scale, we see that it's just crossed the 100% mark. So, what is the expenses that we face? For example, college education. College education in Australia is very expensive. It's increased by nearly 500% when the consumer price index has only grown by 114. And this has something, we've got to ask ourselves, how do we manage to pay for this on the salaries we earn? Then is the housing boom. In every country, you see the prices of housing going up, so much so that young people today, unless they get a loan from their parents, will most probably find it really hard to get into a home of their own. And people, when they leave college, they get very good results, they get a job, but most often they have two choices. They either have to share accommodation with other young people, or they still have to live at home. And then probably when they get married, maybe they have a chance of putting together some money and buying a home or renting for a while. So just imagine you spend all that time to get a good job and you can't get into your own home, or even rent by yourself. Renting, I'm not talking about owning the house, just renting is also a big problem. So now this is a very important chart that I want you to pay close attention to. Okay, we've got years from 1975 to 2010, that's just 4 years ago. As I speak, it's 2014. And we see incomes here in 500,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. If you notice here, at the low end, people who earned around $600 in 1975 are earning around $700 right now. How many years have passed? Probably 30 years, and they're only earning a few dollars more. As you see, the orange line here has gone up a little bit from just under about $800 to $1,200. But the maximum increase here is in the top income bracket. These people here have gone from incomes of about $1,200 to just under $2,500. These are your professionals, people who go and get degrees or postgraduate degrees. So the question we've got to ask ourselves is, unless we study, we will not get good jobs. And as I've shown you in a video a day or so ago, that the jobs really only pay our expenses. We don't have much savings. What are the answers ahead? Do we get a second job? Do we go out and get more qualifications and probably try to increase our income by having, getting a better paying job? Probably pay more taxes, less time at home because the stress at work will increase. Or do we look to go overseas and work in a tax haven place and go to the Middle East, for example? These are different options we've got. Then we've got the option of being self-employed, investing our savings into something and probably trying to take control of our income and working really hard and possibly making maybe or 50% or double what we do, but at a cost of our health and cost of time, because you have to put in a lot of time. So in the next few weeks, or sorry, in the next few days, I'll be sending you a few more emails with short, crisp, precise information that you could possibly use to help you to get to what you want quicker and faster. I hope this is helpful to you. It has been helpful to me, and I'm today enjoying a life that is really good. And what's exciting is that it's getting better every day. It's not going to be the same next year this time, and certainly in 5 years' time it's going to be different. And that's what we want. We want progress. We want excitement, adventure, and I'm happy to share this with you. So go ahead, look out for the next video tomorrow, and I'm here to help you. Thank you. God bless.